So, I mean, Toronto, they were so close. But hey, Chicago Bulls, you're 4-0 for the first time since 1996. I think we all know how that season ended. That was a phenomenal game. If you're a Raptors fan, unfortunately, I mean, even if you're a Bulls fan, that last quarter was not pretty whatsoever. If you're a Raptors fan, you're probably ecstatic right now. Here on my channel, welcome back. Massage that like button for me, guys. We have communities colliding right here. I'm from Chicago, and I post Raptors content every day. I post Bulls content every day. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you guys haven't already. But we had a collision of communities today. If you were watching my live stream, thanks for tuning in. Let's get into some statistics, because if we're being honest here, Toronto should have, maybe not should have, but they could have won this game. I mean, Toronto 100% could have won this game. And I'll pinpoint something already. 21 turnovers. So keep in mind that the Chicago Bulls had 12. Toronto's defense, specifically in the fourth quarter, was extremely dominant. Like, extremely dominant. The thing is, their first half, and even to start off the second half, it was so sloppy. I mean, particularly Fred VanVleet, who we'll talk about here in just a couple of minutes. He was extremely sloppy, but like, dude, they had an opportunity. The Bulls let him come back. They're ignited by the Raptors defense, and they fell a little bit short, and it would have been really nice for Toronto to get a win at home. However, luckily for Toronto, their schedule isn't as grueling in the month of November as it is for the Chicago Bulls. Let's take a look at some statistics. Both teams shot 48% from the field. Both teams shot over 40% from downtown. Something key to know is the Raptors out-rebounded the Bulls 48-28 tonight. Something I was not anticipating. I thought Nikola Vucevic was honestly going to completely feast, not only offensively, but just rebound-wise. That wasn't really the case. So let's get into some teams' statistics here. I have a lot of opinions on this Raptors squad, so stay tuned. Let's get through the Bulls here. Patrick Williams, you need to be more aggressive. I mean, it really is as simple as that. 3 field goals. I mean, there was a specific moment in the second half where he had a wide-open three-pointer passed by Lonzo Ball that he didn't take. You got to take those. I mean, this isn't your rookie year anymore. You need to be taking these shots. Even if they're in high moments, that's why you're on the court. You're ready to, you can play at this level. Same thing with Scotty Barnes, where it's like, just sometimes be a little bit more aggressive. Scotty's a little bit more talented, in my opinion, than Patrick on the offensive end, especially. But Patrick, man, just be a little bit more aggressive on offense, because he's shooting the ball lights out this season. It's just on a very small sample size. DeMar DeRozan, he was the reason the Bulls won. I mean, he only shot 7 of 19 from the field, but he had 10 of 10 free throws, 2 of 4 from downtown, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 26 points. This is kind of how DeMar DeRozan's been playing in San Antonio the last couple of years. He really took over in the end of the fourth quarter. For DeMar, the game started off really well. I believe he scored 9 or 11 points in the first quarter. Kind of stalled out from there, and then in the fourth quarter, especially in crunch time, I mean, he was making pull-up mid-rangers. He was getting to the line, or not only was he getting to the line, but he was also just getting to the rim with ease. He had a nice put OG Anunoby on a spin cycle in the fourth quarter there. Good game from DeMar DeRozan. This is something that the Bulls haven't had in a very long time. Is just like a consistent closer outside of your starting guy. Zach LaVine, ever since he's gotten to Chicago, has been like the 1, 2, and 3 option when it comes to scoring. Well, now we finally have more options, so you love to see it. Nikola Vucevic, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 assists, 17 points. He had the best plus-minus of all the Bulls. I feel like it's still taking him a little bit of time to get moving offensively. Defensively, I think he's done a lot better than I was anticipating heading into this season, but specifically in that fourth quarter, I mean, Zach LaVine threw him a really bad ball with less than a minute left that led to a Scotty Barnes dunk, and then he had Lonzo like threw a half-court pass as the game's ending to Vucevic, and he's going for a layup. Thankfully, Goran kind of effed up the steal. He got the steal, but then it was a little too errant, and he went out of bounds getting the errant steal. But, like, Vucevic got bailed out tonight. Like, I mean, he really got bailed out tonight. I don't think he played a great game, although his statistics would prove me wrong. So I'd love to hear from you guys down below on Vucevic's game tonight. Lonzo Ball, 5 of 11 from the field, 5 of 9 from downtown, 15 points. Offensively, he had like 4 threes in the first half, which was huge. But he didn't really do much scoring-wise, and maybe you'd like to see a little bit more aggression. He only took 2 normal field goals. Outside of three-point shooting, he was 0-2 from the field. So I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive. No free throws from him. I'd like to see him be more aggressive, get to the free throw line, or at least start making some more layups. Just like to see a little bit more aggression out of Lonzo Ball. Zach LaVine, definitely not his best night. I wouldn't say it was his worst game because I think that was the other night against Detroit, but 22 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. The Bulls are able to find ways. Like, Zach LaVine didn't get his first field goal to the second quarter, and he also, like, with Zach LaVine, he was not having a good night. He had a good third quarter. OG was playing really good defense on him. I don't know what it was about Zach LaVine tonight, but they were able to still, like, they were up 10, and Zach LaVine had, I don't even remember how many points at halftime. It was single digits. So this Bulls team, they're finding ways to win without Zach LaVine, which is something we haven't seen in year after year after year. So Zach LaVine, he definitely picked it up in the second half of the first half. Oh, man, he could not make anything, like even a layup. Like, he was not making anything. Chicago Bulls bench came up through Alex Caruso. Not only defensively did he have 4 steals, which was huge for him, but he's just an all-around, he's a hooper, man. He 1-1 from downtown, 8 points tonight, 4 steals, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Same thing with, like, most of the guys on the bench tonight. Troy Brown Jr. had 11 points. Elijah Johnson had 6 points. It was just a good bench game for this Bulls unit. Now let's talk Raptors here, because this is something I had a lot of comments during my live stream on the Raptors. We'll go down the line here. We'll go down the line. Precious Achiuwa, another double-double. I feel like offensively he did not have his best stuff, but he still found a way to make an impact. He had a really nice alley-oop dunk late in the fourth quarter. 1 of 2 from downtown. He had like 2 wide open threes in the late in the game that I honestly wouldn't be upset if he took it, especially if he already made one in the night. I would not be upset one bit if he took that. However, I'm going to let Precious be Precious because he's clearly gaining confidence with this stroke, unlike previous years. I mean, he made his second three-pointer in the NBA tonight. OG Anunoby, great offensive game. The first quarter was a little sloppy from him, but he finished with 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals, 8 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from downtown. Hopefully I know he had a good game against Dallas, but hopefully this is the game where OG just kind of starts going. Like, hopefully this is the game where OG starts just consistently dropping 22, 7, and 5 without Pascal Siakam and just gains confidence, gains momentum. Oh, crazy hiccup there. But good game, good showing from OG Anunoby tonight. Scotty Barnes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 6 turnovers, which is sloppy, but it's a rookie. Can't get too upset at him. 0 of 1 from downtown. I like that he took that shot there late in the game in the fourth quarter. 6 of 8 from the field. This is something I was ragging on Scotty all game, where it's like basically what Gary Trent Jr. was telling him the other night. Like, they can't stop you. Just shoot the ball, man. It wasn't more so the issue of Scotty Barnes not shooting it. For me, it was more Scotty Barnes didn't have the ball in his hands enough. Like, it was... And we'll talk about Freddie here in a minute. He's next up. We'll talk about Freddie. I don't know what it is with Scotty Barnes, but I don't think he had the ball in his hands too much. In the second half, he definitely uptaked the aggressiveness. He only took 3 shots. He was a perfect 3 of 3 heading into halftime. Took 5 in the second half. And started having the ball a little bit more in his hands. I liked the defense intensity he was playing. He was like pressing Lonzo Ball all game, full court. 1 steal, 1 block for Scotty Barnes tonight. It's going to take him a while to get consistent with it, but I could not imagine someone complaining with 13 points, 4 rebounds on 6 of 8 shooting, even with the 6 turnovers from the 4th game from your 4th pick in the draft. So we'll move on to Freddie here. 6 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from downtown, 6 rebounds, 17 assists, a career high. It wasn't even close. Career high 17 assists for Freddie VanVleet. Also threw in 15 points. As my man Thomas Perry was mentioning to me, Fred is a little inconsistent, but he shows up when it matters. And I was ragging on Freddie all game because what he would do is he would penetrate the defense, which is awesome. But he would like run around it. Like, so if you have two defenders outside of the key, he'd like run around them and then like right under the basket and then like pass it out. And sometimes it would be a turnover because he had plenty of turnovers tonight. He had 8 turnovers, which was ridiculous. But I just felt like there were so many times where I felt like he was trying a little bit too much, where he would just literally penetrate the defense, but not actually penetrate it because he's not taking any hits. He's not looking for the shot. He's literally just trying to get the defense to crash, which isn't a bad game plan in itself, but he did that like almost every play in the first half, especially when he had the ball in his hands. He would just dribble and drive and then kick it out to a defender who wasn't open. So if Freddie wasn't taking layups, there's no need to really like double team him. I mean, he's not going to shoot it. So, and this was something I really only noticed this game. Like, I've never really seen that from Freddie. I don't feel like he's usually running around to nothing. It was really only tonight. And you could tell he knew that the Raptors needed to play good offense tonight, and they needed to get it going. And I think that's why he was running around even more tonight, and that's what definitely directly correlated to the 8 turnovers. But all in all, I'm really turning the corner on Freddie. I mean, 17 assists, no matter how you put it, it's extremely impressive. It's extremely impressive. He plays good defense, and he shows up when it matters. So it was a solid game from Fred tonight. Outside of the 8 turnovers, it was really bad. Gary Trent Jr., 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 9 from downtown. It's Gary Trent Jr. season, baby. I don't know why he was ever on the bench, Nick Nurse. Why would you put him on the bench? I don't understand it. He helps Fred VanVleet's job because he got a shooter out there. Gary Trent Jr., hashtag let's start Gary Trent the rest of the season. That's the train I'm on. Looking on the bench, Chris Boucher is in the doghouse 100%. I don't really know why. Apparently, some of my viewers were saying it was from lackluster effort, which I guess has to be the case. He only got 5 minutes tonight. I don't know. I mean, they were out rebounding the Bulls by a significant margin. I don't know why Chris Boucher played 5 minutes tonight. Baffles me. I don't understand it. He must have really effed up. Kem Birch, good offensive game from him tonight, 11 points. Goran, same thing. He got to the free throw line, wasn't shooting the ball well, but got to the free throw line enough, 8 points. Delano Banton played 5 minutes tonight. That was kind of awesome. And then Svi's just a phenomenal pickup. He finished with 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 of 2 from the field, 1 of 1 from downtown. So Raptors Nation, you have 3 winnable games the rest of this week. There's nothing to worry about. Chicago Bull Nation, we have a very difficult schedule ahead of us, but we have a very talented team. And you never know with injuries and what have you. I don't think that November will treat the Bulls that badly. As far as Toronto goes, they definitely need to pick up 2 more wins this week. They play 4. They have 2 games against Indiana, and then I don't know why I am tweaking on who this other game, Orlando Magic. So if they could go 3-0 to close out the week, finish the week at 3-1, they'll be sitting just fine. So I think something I learned from this Raptors team is if they're able to be this competitive without Pascal Siakam, they're going to be just fine. They're going to be in the playoff race this whole season. I still like them as the 5 seed once Pascal comes back, and I think just game by game, they're improving, and things are just going to start clicking soon. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoy it, hit the like button, hit that sub button. Like I said, I post Raptors and Bulls content every single day. That's it from me. Peace.